Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a 2-week hiatus for me when it comes to fantasy football. However, hopefully you've been enjoying the College Football 25 videos I've been putting out. And please don't hold it against me that I can't throw a pass to save my life, nor can I defend a running back running right up the middle with the middle linebacker. I can't do that. But something I can do is tell you about how my teams have been doing over these last 2 weeks. And because of how numbers work, we will go with week 9 first and then week 10. And after we finish talking about the team and the weeks, we'll talk about the adds and drops for that particular team. We're going to go ahead and start with the Party Time Party Boys, where week 9 was unfortunately a loss, 139 to 112. Our leading scorer was Falcons wide receiver Darnell Mooney, who got me 19, and the Chargers defense, who I told you to add at least 2 weeks ago now because they had a great 4-week span of games. They got me 18. Woo-hoo, yeah, boy. On the opposite side of that, Mark Andrews only got me 4 points, and Xavier Worthy got me -1. Come on, man. The Chiefs are 9-0 and you can't even get a point? But we're now talking about week 10, and that was a lot of the same story. We lost 140 to 119. Our leading scorer was Mark Andrews, who had a huge bounce back from week 9. He had 18 points, and then Bucky Irving had a cool 17 points for me. The only guy that really didn't score well for me, and actually he hasn't scored well the whole season, CJ Stroud. I had a whole heck of a lot higher hopes for him. He scored 11 for me. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, so that's not good at all. The adds and drops for these 2 weeks included Xavier Legge, Ray Davis, and Demarcus Robinson. I added him late for this upcoming week because Tyreek Hill was potentially going to be out, so wanted to make sure I saved myself and covered my bases. And the drops for those 2 weeks include Dak, who is out for the season, the 49ers defense, who has not shown up at all, and Tank Bigsby. Unfortunately, the second fiddle in Jacksonville is not even part of the band anymore because Travis Etienne is back. Tell that to my fantasy teams. Overall, we are 4-6, 7th overall in the league, but 2nd in the division. So definitely still have some opportunity to make the playoffs. I'm not at all worried about it. And I will move to the Jerome Horse Purple Dragons. Week 9 was a super close game, but we were able to pull out 71 to 70. Our leading scorer was Justin Tucker with 11, along with James Conner, who also got us 11, and then CJ Stroud, who got us 10. Now, I just talked about how he wasn't doing great for us. And didn't say he did great this week. I just said he was one of our top scorers, which goes to show you that this was a very low-scoring game. And it was so low-scoring because Sam Laporta got me 2 points, and then Chris Olave got me 1. Now, in his defense, he did get knocked out. He was left out to dry by his quarterback. Hey, that's Michael Thomas's words, not mine. But he did get knocked out, so that was not good. That was kind of scary. And something else that was scary, our week 10 performance, because we were not even close. We lost 121 to 75. James Conner was our leading scorer with 17, and then Bucky Irving, showing up again on these lists, got me 14. Now, on the opposite side of that, we did not score many at all because CeeDee Lamb had Cooper Rush thrown to him. CeeDee Lamb got 2 points. Also, Baltimore's defense forgot how to play, and they got me -1. It's going to be a long rest of the year with CeeDee Lamb, that's for sure. Something else that's for sure, adds and drops. The adds this week included Mr. Jonathan Brooks, my Texas man. Hopefully he's going to come back and give a little spark to this Carolina Panthers offense, even though Chuba Hubbard is doing pretty well. Chuba Hubbard, that's what I like to call him. In any case, the other ad was Josh Downs, who I think is going to be a pretty good stopgap for CeeDee Lamb as long as Flacco is throwing to him and not throwing interceptions and not getting sacked. Not just doing poorly. Maybe that's not a great stopgap. The drops include Sterling Shepard and Chris Olave. Overall, we are 5-5 in this league. We are 3rd in the division, but there's a 3-way tie for first, so we're all 5-5. And then that means in the league, I am either 4th or I am 6th. So, again, not worried about this. I still definitely feel like I'm going to be able to make the playoffs. And the next team we're going to talk about is the Vince McMahon Football Club, where week 9 allowed us to get back into the win column with the victory, 114 to 105. Our leading scorer, the Chargers defense, who again I told you to pick up. They scored 46 points. And then Dak Prescott scored 15. This league is very questionable with points and very generous, as you can tell. You can tell that A.J. Brown with only 3 points, Travis Etienne and Sam Laporta with only 2 points, and Puka, before he got kicked out for throwing a punch, getting me 1 point, were not factors in me winning this game, and I have everything to give and credit to the Chargers defense. So thank you, Chargers, for showing up, even though I told everyone to pick them up 2 or 3 weeks ago. And as we continue week 10, we won again, 111-85. And guess what? The Chargers defense was their top scorer again with 27. Kicker Kai Fairborn came out with 13. And then Sam Laporta showed a little bit of life and came out with 12, so that was good. The only poor scorer this week was Ray Davis, who got 0.5. Most of the time I don't even talk about points, like the 1.5 or 2.5, whatever it may be. But that was how many he scored, 0.5. Speaking of running backs, the adds and drops definitely did not disappoint. We were able to pick up Isaac Guerendo, Keaton Mitchell, Devin Singletary, and then Matt Stafford because Dak went down. And the drops did include Dak, of course. Trey Benson, who I'm probably going to pick up again here because he's getting more carries as the year wanes on, and James Conner's probably getting tired. Also, Allen, Lizardman, Lazard, and Sterling Shepard because he's a non-factor in that Bucs offense. Now, overall, we are 4-6 in this league, dead last, but we are tied with like 2 or 3 other teams in dead last at 4-6, and naturally 5th overall out of 5 in our division. So there's still time. And the last team we were talking about, the deranged Easter Bunny. Week 9 was a victorious one for us as we were able to come out on top of 107-87. Top scorers were C.J. Stroud with 22, Cade Otton with 22, and Scary Terry McLaurin with 17. A.J. Brown got me 5, and Puka Nacua got me 3. Week 10, oh boy, that was a close one. The kicker for the Dolphins absolutely kept not only the Dolphins, but also my opponent in the game. I had Puka Nacua going. So I scored X number, and he scored X number. It was close. It was close. But we came out on top, 147-143. One more 50-yard field goal by Jason Sanders, and I'll lose this game to a kicker while having Puka Nacua. In any case, our top scorer was C.J. Stroud with 33, followed by Scary Terry McLaurin and Travis Kelce both getting 21, A.J. Brown getting 20, and Puka Nacua getting 18, scoring the same amount as the kicker, or the kicker scored the same amount as him. I don't know if it's good or bad. But in any case, J.K. Dobbins only scored 8 after having a pretty big week last week. So, not the worst thing in the world, but definitely could have scored more to get a little more cushion, right? And then the other disappointment was Baltimore's defense. They only got me 4 points. Probably going to have to move on from them. That's unfortunate, but probably going to have to move on. There were no adds and drops for the last 2 weeks, and currently I'm sitting at 6-4, second in the division, and 5th overall in the league. So, still in very good standings. Definitely looking to make a playoff push. Checking the adds and drops, even though, I feel like I have a pretty good team, but, there was Travis Kelce on the waiver wire 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that was because I dropped him and I picked him right back up, so, yeah, that was me. We need to look at adds and drops because there may be some changes coming, especially in Chicago. Now, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions, but Caleb Williams is not the answer. He's not. So whoever the Bears want to start at quarterback, go ahead and pick them up. I'm not sure who it could be or who it would be. I would love to see him bring Nick Foles back. That would just be funny. But they have good receivers. They have a decent running back. They have a tight end who is always touted to be good, but I have no trust in him. So literally, anybody could be better than Caleb Williams. So whoever the quarterback for the Bears is, if you're desperate enough, still need a quarterback, pick him up. And now we're going to talk about running backs. Isaac Guerendo, pretty good to go ahead and get rid of. CMC is back. However, another handcuff that you might want to have, not for San Francisco, is for who I talked about before, the Cardinals, Trey Benson. He is getting more and more carries earlier in the game. So, might want to go ahead and look at him because Connor getting kind of tired. He's been carrying this team. The Cardinals are leading their division. So, they're doing some work. They might want to give him a little break, which is going to be terrible for the teams that I have Connor in. But, it's all good. Trey Benson is going to be a really, really good handcuff, just like Ray Davis. Ray Davis only got him 0.5 points. So if you haven't picked him up already, Tyrone Tracy. But again, I would look at Devin Singletary because eventually Daboll, hopefully, is going to move away from Daniel Jones. That means, similar to in Chicago, anyone is going to be better. Even if it's Tommy Danny DeVito. Take that with a grain of salt if you're that desperate. And now we're going to a wide receiver. I have referred to him before as 25 Cent because he's not quite getting shot so many times as 50 Cent. But Ricky Pearsall, 25 Cent right there. He's made a few games in a row making some plays. CMC is back, so they're going to be doing some play action. Purdy's going to be able to hit Pearsall short, make a play afterwards or hit him long. So that is your last option, I would say, in the Niners offense. Moving on over to the Texans offense, John Mechie. I'm not saying he is the end-all be-all. I'm not saying he's taking Tank Dell's job. I'm not saying he's taking over those reps or those receptions, but he had a decent game. Tank Dell has not performed as well as he should have, and they're already down a receiver, potentially another one with injury. So Mechie could be, if you have enough room, maybe like he's a fourth or fifth receiver, could be someone to have and be like, hey, there's a bye week. Maybe start him. And the last few ads I'm going to talk about are going to come with the defense or special teams. Obviously, this is the last week you can pick up and start the Chargers because they have a tumultuous last 6 weeks. It's not good at all. You don't want them after this week. If you want to get one step ahead of everyone else, go ahead and pick up the Lions because this week they play the Jaguars. Next week, they play the Colts. And then in 3 weeks, they play the Bears. This is a great defense to have over the next 3 weeks. Then they play Green Bay and Buffalo. But then they get Chicago again. So that'll be nice. But again, for the next 3 weeks, the Lions defense is who you want. That does it for the recaps. That also does it for the people I think you should add. And this is coming out Tuesday night. So it should be helpful for those who have Waiver Wire Wednesday. But I do look forward to talking to you again next week. Hopefully it's not too busy for me. And I am also looking forward to continuing on my winning ways and are getting back in the winning column in some of these teams. This is J Cake, and I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.